Hi guys, good day. Thank you for joining this English learning. I'm Hiroshi from Japan, and today we studied one article from Sagru. Lesson 24. The title is Creative Process. Let us go through the vocabulary firstly. Vocabulary: perceive, 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 perceive. 认知感觉 perceive。Craftsman, craftsman, 工匠 craftsman, 工匠 imitation, 仿品模仿 imitation, horns, horns, 角号角characteristics, characteristics, 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 特征特征 characteristics, 特征 impression, impression, 印象 impression, jewelry, 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 珠宝 appropriate, 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 合适的 appropriate, 合适的 reiterate, 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 重申反复的说 reiterate, reiterate, permutations, permutation, 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 排列 permutation, arrangement, permutation, permutation, 排列 perception, 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 洞察力，洞察力 keenness, 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 敏锐的，敏锐力 keenness, profound, 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 深刻的 profound, 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 essence, essence, 本质 essence, cerebral, 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 大脑的，大脑的 cerebral, interfere, 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 干扰，干预 extrapolation, 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 外推法，推算 extrapolation, 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 phenomenal, 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 非凡的 phenomenal, phenomenal, 非凡的 misery, misery, 苦难，悲惨 misery, misery, 苦难，悲惨 Okay, let's go through the article. The real definition of the word creativity. I do not believe a human being can be creative. If we perceive creation around us with a certain profoundness, we can imitate it in many different ways, in permutations and combinations, and same creative in society, but actually we are not really creative. Everything that can be created that has already been done in creation. We are clever craftsmen at the most. If you define the word creativity as really creating something, whether you make a movie, paint something, build a building, speak, or whatever else, this is not really creative. It is clever imitation. Because we have paid attention to different aspects of life, we are able to imitate it in ways that others have not thought possible. Or if you do not like the word imitate, you could say replicate. That's interesting. Okay, let me repeat this article again. The real definition of the word creativity. I do not believe a human being can be creative. If we perceive creation around us with a certain profoundness, we can imitate it in many different ways, in permutations and combinations, and the same creative in society, but actually we are not really creative. Everything that can be created has already been done in creation. We are clever craftsmen at the most. If you define the word creativity as really creating something, whether you make a movie, paint something, build a buildings, speaker, or whatever else, this is not really creative. It is clever imitation because we have paid attention to different aspects of life. We are able to imitate it in ways that others had not thought possible. Or if you do not like the word imitate, you could say replicate. Creative process, mystics inside. If you look at human beings, no one has horns, legs, short arm, or three eyes. Everything is the same, but everything is different. This is the creativity. If you want to describe the characteristics of human beings in simple terms, everyone has two legs, two hands, one nose, two eyes, and so on. But just to see what a unique happening in each one of them is in everywhere. This is the nature of creation. No human beings should ever think that we are creating something. In some way, knowingly or unknowingly, we are reproducing a new thing from the impression we have taken in. No one can really create anything new here. Anything you create, whether it is a piece of jewelry or clothing, a building or whatever else, in any form and color, already exists somewhere in nature. You have taken in so many impressions, not all of them consciously. Some of these forms and colors and shapes that are there in your mind may find unconscious expression. In this context, when someone says the asherim is beautiful, I did not make the mountains, and that's the most beautiful part of the asherim. They are sitting a background, though most people may not notice it. Once it happened, Shakaran Pillai came to the Isha Yoga Center and he wanted a room with a view. We gave an appropriate room to in the Chitri block. Then he complained, reiterating, I wanted a room with a view. We said, this is the room that has the best view. He said, the goddamn mountains are in the way. This is what happened to a lot of human beings. They do not say things that they are. Instead, they have ideas. If you want to make something beautiful, the first thing is you should not have any idea. The idea need not necessarily have anything to do with reality. If instead of having an idea, you have perception and you simply drink life all the time, if you want to create something or you want to make something happen, it will all be with you in terms of shapes, forms, colors, sounds, or whatever else. Whether you want to create music or clothing or building, if you pay enough attention, it will be all be there. What we are looking at as creativity is essentially coming from keenness of attention. Certain people are very attentive to words and meanings, so they bounce back certain things. Certain people are very attentive to fonts and colors, they will find expression in a different way. Certain people are very attentive to sounds, they may be able to produce music very effortlessly. How keen and profound your attention is reflects in you in somewhere. The essence of what I have been trying to do is to get millions of people to really pay attention without intention. If people can do this one thing, multi-dimensional creativity is very much possible. It is not that they have to practice. What is lacking in human beings' attention. What is taking away human attention is simply their own cerebral activity. People do not know how to handle the memory and the attention separately. The memory always floods into the attention and clouds it all the time. People may call this a clouding of the memory as a thought or emotion, but it is essentially the accumulated memory which interferes with one's attention. Otherwise, it is very natural for you to be attentive. When you are aware, you are attentive. How else can you be? It is only because the memory slips into every aspect. This is fundamental work that I have always been trying to do, with that people should be able to separate the memory, attention, and the imagination. Imagination is not a problem, because imagination is the extrapolation of one's memory in many different ways. All of them animals have very keen attention, but they do not have a vivid sense of memory like us. But instead of using this memory as a phenomenal capability, most people use this to cause misery to themselves. Most of the time, human beings are suffering what happened 10 years ago, and they may be also suffering what may happen day after tomorrow. Animals have their struggles, but they are not suffering their memory, they are suffering life. Human beings are just suffering memory most of the time. Okay, that's a good story. After reading this article, I like to sing and create some sounds. Actually, they are just my imitations. Anyway, pay attention is very important. The most misery thing is that you are quite good at something, but you do not pay attention on it until you get old. So please pay attention on what you are really care and interested, and fire your life on it. Bang your life on it. Yeah, I think that's all of us should be should be focused on this part. Do not think too much how to earn a life, how to make money, how to care about the else around you. You must be care and pay attention on your own self. Okay, that's all. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Bye bye.